Testing. I'm gonna have to see if this is working or not. Good morning, YouTube, and cheers, Bosh. Let's have a quick swig of the Monster. Gorgeous, as always. Absolutely, simply incredible. Whack her down there, beautiful. Oh, that's a cute little cat. Oh, I love cats like this. I'm not really a cat person, but if I had to get a cat, I'd want one like that. That wasn't part of the plan. I'm going to have to put you back down now. Ooh. And welcome to episode 5 of The Cut, where I'm now 6 weeks and 1 day into it. This morning, I have woken up at 7 a.m. It's now currently about 20 past 9. Woke up, first thing that I did was just get ready for the day, get out and go for a walk nice and early. And it was actually sunny today, and it was really nice to start the day with getting some light into my eyes. Doing so is so good for your circadian rhythm. Like, you want to make sure that at the start of the day you're trying to get sort of like light into your eyes to basically like spike your cortisol, which is like your stress hormone, and it naturally sort of sets like a timer in motion for like melatonin to start getting produced later on in the day, and it massively helps with like sleep and energy availability and like energy levels through the course of the day. But considering like obviously the UK in the winter, the sun is a rare thing, so it was very nice to go for a walk and get that done this morning. And then also have my overnight oats as normal, which I'm actually starting to get a little bit less excited about, but because I was so hungry this morning, I still absolutely yammed them down. But anyway, that is what I've been up to so far. Now I'm going to go to the gym, and it's actually Tuesday today. Normally on a Monday, I normally do my check-ins and I normally would train push. However, I couldn't actually train yesterday because previously, a couple episodes ago, I mentioned about how I have like a bit of an issue with this side of my back, but I also have an issue with this part of my shoulder. I'm literally just broken. I definitely need to go and see someone. I've always had problems with my shoulders since like basically just growing up, but it meant that yesterday I had to have it as a rest day because I could basically barely move this shoulder. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm actually going to be doing an upper body session. So I'm going to be doing a couple of sets of back, a couple of sets of chest. I'm not going to be training my shoulders, and then I'm going to be doing arms, and I'll show you through exactly how I'm looking, obviously update you with like what I've been doing, show you through my food as well, because I've not been sort of going too in depth with that throughout the course of the most recent episodes. Hello, so the session is all done and I'm in the wars at the moment. I was putting one of the weights on and I smacked the shit out of my tricep, and this is the side that wasn't hurting, like this shoulder and stuff, and then this tricep, as I say, I just whacked it like right on my elbow, just above my elbow, so that was hurting. So when I was pressing, that was hurting, and on this side, this shoulder was hurting, so I had to go quite light with the pressing movements that I did. I also couldn't do any sort of like fly or anything like that, because I couldn't really like do any sort of like internal or external sort of rotation, so that's not ideal, but I tried to work around things the best I could, and let's see how things are looking. So I woke up this morning and I was 76.1 kilos, which is 0.4 kilos lighter than I was last Monday, but it is definitely elevated from where I am, because without going into too much detail, after the weekend and eating quite differently and stuff like that, my digestion has been a little bit all over the place. I've not been as consistent as I normally would be with going to the toilet, I suppose, and like it's just definitely affected my weight, and I woke up this morning, felt like a little bit bloated and stuff like that, but still seeing the scales move in the right direction, and I'm quite happy with how I'm looking. Like in comparison to the start, the differences at the moment are just starting to become sort of like night and day. As mentioned in previous videos, I can see that like this vein's coming through more. I could also see when I wasn't sort of like, when I first took my t-shirt off, I could see that like I'm starting to get veins here. Abs are definitely looking better. And one thing that I do as well is I actually like measure my waist and my hips and keep track of it all, as I'll show you on the screen now. And from the start, off the top of my head, I think I've lost like 10 centimeters off my hips. And I'm not sure how much off my waist, but like a decent amount. And I can clearly see within the mirror, like the differences are reflected within sort of like visually how I'm looking. But I always, with all of my clients, I always want them to track like their waist and their hip measurements nice and frequently, because sometimes like when the scales aren't moving, it can make you think like, oh, am I seeing fat loss and stuff like that? But the scales are much more temperamental. For women, the waist measurements and stuff like that can be as well, especially around sort of like time of the month and all that sort of stuff. But typically, I will be like, right, well, we'll have a look at sort of like how the waist measurement's moving and the weight. And if they're sort of, one of them's moving in a good direction, typically it is like a decent sign that things are going the right way. But sometimes, as I say, one of those two could not be telling the full picture. But if you don't have both of them, you're not 100% sure, like, am I seeing fat loss? So the session is all done and the steps are mostly done as well. I went on the treadmill, did my steps as I needed to, also had my protein shake as well as normal to try and like help hunger a little bit. But one thing that I've noticed over the last few days is that food noise has certainly increased significantly, especially on the weekend with Erin. I was like really just fancying a lot more sort of like sweet treats and just rubbish basically. My hunger has been quite significantly higher, and also when I was doing my steps just then, I could also feel that like my legs felt quite heavy, which, I mean, I'm 6 weeks into dieting. I've not really gone overly aggressive, but I haven't really had any refeeds. All I've had is some days I've had days that like I've had like an off-plan meal here or there, but most of the time I can genuinely say, like, hand on heart, over these 6 weeks I've been probably like 95% compliant. Potentially that's even being a little bit harsh. As mentioned, like as of this morning, it was a case that I'd lost 4 kilos from the start over the 6 weeks, which, I mean, isn't the most weight loss I could see in the whole wide world. I definitely could have gone more aggressive at this point. Like I could have gone for more steps, could have probably gone lower calories straight away as well. But one thing that I'm really trying to prioritize, and something that I mentioned in previous videos as well, is I'm really trying to prioritize maintaining training performance as best as I can, even though I am literally like broken in every single way today. And then as well as that, I just want to maintain as much lean body mass as possible, so as much muscle mass as possible, so that I look the best that I can when it's all over and done with, basically. Now I'm going to go home. I'm going to show you through the rest of my day, like eating wise and everything like that. So all I've had so far today is my protein shake with creatine, like I've just had, and also my overnight oats as well. So I'm going to go home, got work to do and everything like that, but I'll show you through everything as always.
A sustainable trend and will continue going forward.
Good evening. You are joining me as I currently cook my last meal of the day, which is going to be 2 cod fillets, a bag of golden vegetable rice as normal, and then also some posh broccoli with a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper, and it's been done in the oven as well. It's actually quite nice in comparison to boiling it. Cod, by the way, is an unbelievable protein source when you are dieting. It really helps to sort of not always feel like you're having chicken. It's a nice texture, and it's just something to have like that's like a little bit different. It's for like 100 grams, it's like about 20 grams of protein, basically no fat, and like a tiny bit of carbs. So it's a really good choice if you're looking for something that's basically just protein. After this, to end the day, I have got a little bit more food to have. I'm just gonna have a small bowl of cocoa rice with some milk to end the day. But my macros were gonna be sitting, I think it's like 2,450 calories roughly, 200 grams of protein roughly, and then the carbs and fats I'm not paying too much attention to at this moment in time, to be completely honest. I'll show you what it is on the screen here. For the last few hours, like since I came back from working out at the gym, I've literally just been working. It's now 7:30. Another successful day of the cut. I've gone and got my steps done as well, like after I did finish work. And now for this evening, I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit boring. I'm going to be having a look at my finances and sorting them out. I'm literally like a 45-year-old bloke. I'm also going to edit up this YouTube video as well. Rice has just gone. And then, as usual, I'm going to finish the evening by watching a little bit of Love Island All Stars. Arsenal play tomorrow against Wolves, so hoping that the boys can win and not absolutely bottle it. But other than that, that is the end of the vlog. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you've got any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments below. You can follow me on Instagram via the link in the description. You can also join Rapid, which is the 8-week Rapid Fat Loss program. Oh, actually, by the time this goes out, it would have already launched, so ignore that. But you can find me on Instagram in the link below. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. Like and subscribe for future content and to see how I get on and get into the best shape of my life. And again, thank you for watching, and adios and hasta luego.